Okay, welcome to Skip the Ads. This is episode 4. We're going to be talking about video game movies. Everything about video games, just because of the release of Rampage that came out recently. I'm your host, Bradley Nader. With me is my co-host, Ben.
Hey, guys.
My fact checker, Emma.
Hello.
And my special guest, Theo.
Hi, guys. How are we?
So, let's just get straight into it and talk about video game movies and all that. So, the main video games that I really want to discuss is, like, what do we think about video games movies in general? So, Theo, you're quite into video games yourself.
Unfortunately.
Yep.
Spend a lot of money, but I don't get it
Spend
back.
a lot of money on video games.
Oh, yeah. $100 pop.
What's your thoughts about seeing your favorite films getting adapted into movies?
I mean, personally, being a video game enthusiast, it's great to see something that you've spent so many hours embracing and enjoying turned into a film and seeing how somebody can create a different aspect to the game. So it's fantastic. It's great. I love it.
Yeah.
Considering how big the industry is too now, it's worth billions of dollars. So I don't see why not.
So, like, even with, like, Assassin's Creed in 2016 when that came out, like, you weren't really thinking, you were like, this is a good way to go, not compared to, like, a lot of the comments that were coming out about the film that were saying that,
there is your purists, but there's purists with everything. You got a book and you turn it into a movie. They have to change it to make it more visually enticing, say. So I feel like it's going to be the same with video games as well. They have to change things. Some things that happen in video games you probably can't put in films, categorizing and whatnot. So, you know, at the end of the day, man, I can't see why not. It's an industry. Make it happen. Why not?
yeah,
I love
and
it.
I guess if it makes people happy to watch and all that sort of stuff anyway, like,
Well, that's it.
like obviously they went to their demographic with you, like, you enjoyed it.
I loved it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the main thing, I think, when it comes to video game movies. It's not really about making it for everyone. It's about making it for...
And if you think about those who like don't have a big impact in the video game industry, watching the movie, they'd probably enjoy it. There's plenty of action, there was plenty of story. You know, they can look at it and go, oh, hey, maybe I'll feel like playing this video game now. Like, it looks interesting. They're creating business anyway, so it could be a good thing in that aspect.
Yeah,
too.
they're probably, like, increasing their, like, sales of the actual video game exponentially just by creating a movie for it.
So I'm sure there was some people who didn't see didn't play the game and then watched the movie and enjoyed it. I'm sure of it.
Well, like, even with Assassin's Creed, people would have just seen it just to watch Michael Fassbender, I guess.
Yeah, especially shirtless.
Yeah. Ben, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, exactly right. The fan base, for the gaming industry is so strong. You've got such passionate fans. And as Theo was saying, you're never going to please everyone. Everyone's going to have, their own interpretation of how it's going to be, and you're always going to have a backlash from that. And that's not the fans' fault. When you love something that you've played as a kid, or, it's your escape after work, whatever it is, you've got that attachment to it. You want the movie to be, just as good, but it's like anything that's converted from, one format to another. You're never going to please everyone, and you're always going to have people who, pick it apart and say, well, this was different from the original, blah, 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 blah.
Emphasize the job of a critique.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, you guys have all mentioned that, like, adapting books into movies and all that sort of stuff as well. And it's like, can you ever do a true adaptation, really? Like, if you took something that's an interactive piece of content like a video game and tried to turn it into a movie, something that has 30, 40 hours of gameplay just in one version of the game.
Exactly. Everything has to be shrunk. Everything has to be, like, put into minorities and whatnot. So, yes, there's always going to be things skipped, missed.
Exactly, but then you've got some movies out there that have come out since I can't even think about where the first video game movie that came out is Super Mario Bros. Yeah, I think in '93. When that
interesting movie.
Yeah, so yeah, that was like the first one, and they didn't have anything to compare it to at that stage, but you can see that there's some films out there that didn't do too well trying to adapt.
Mortal Kombat, for instance?
Mortal Kombat had a hard time because they had characters that you could not possibly adapt into a film. But, like, since then, we've obviously had the video game industry create more and more movies with different companies and that sort of thing, all the way up to our current movie that just came out, Rampage, with The Rock in it.
Scoring The Rock would have been a big deal, too.
Yeah, 100%. And, like, I'm pretty sure The Rock had something to do with the film production as well, like, as he does with every single film.
Yeah.
Some form of producing or something like that.
He's the busiest man in Hollywood, mate.
At the moment,
You can't keep him down.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He's got TV shows, he's got movies. He's a fantastic human being. I don't know how he does it.
And possibly the White House in the next election,
Hey,
possibly.
anybody's better than Trump. Sorry.
We won't go down the political route right now.
Anyway, another podcast maybe.
Maybe. So even though we've seen multiple films get adapted, multiple video games get adapted into films, there's also, I guess, those sort of those movies that aren't exactly video game adaptations but have all video games in them, such as like Pixels and all that sort of stuff. What's your guys' thoughts on those sort of movies, seeing something that's not exactly a video game adaptation but something that's like bringing those elements in?
Well, yeah, I think with Pixels especially, that was a bit more of the nostalgia throwback with, the Pac-Man and all those bits and pieces fitting in. So for a lot of people, it was like, well, yeah, trip down memory lane. The movie itself, from what I remember, I did not enjoy it. Pixels.
Well, Adam Sandler's kind of going down the hill a little bit.
I think he's lost his marbles, to be honest with you, but,
It was a standard Adam Sandler movie that he's making these days. And yeah, just for the fact that, the story let it down. You could have done so much with all those, great original gaming characters, but let down.
CGI-wise and character-wise, I thought they did quite a good job. But yeah, you're right. It was just messy, if I could accurately put it. It was just all over the shop. I didn't know quite what the movie was
that's
about.
the thing. Like, when you're trying not to just adapt one video game into a film, you're then starting to adapt like 17 different video games all over the place, and that kind of causes that mess. Like, and from just a normal sort of spectator's point of view, like when you saw Pixels, what was your thoughts?
Like, I thought the animation definitely was really good, but I think the story lacked something. I think Adam Sandler may be beyond his prime of the movies he used to do to what it is now, like the whole...
Dick and ball jokes can only go so far, let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly. And being more of a kid's movie, I think I don't know, like I enjoyed it, but probably not too...
So what you're trying to say pretty much is that would have been an alright film possibly had Adam Sandler not been in it.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm going. Maybe if they had more like younger characters or something, or maybe like.
But then would the young characters have taken away from the nostalgia because they wouldn't have known the games?
I think that was the part too, because they played it as kids when it was in the arcade on the old, how that was all set.
I mean,
and then as they grew up and they were like, well, we're still good at, we're the people you need to save it. But did it have to be Adam Sandler?
Probably not.
Did it have to be?
I think they probably could have chosen someone a little bit more suitable for that movie. I don't know
100%.
who, but maybe, yeah, they could have gone somewhere else with one of the lead actors, yeah.
He just needs to do Waterboy 2 and then call it quits.
Yeah.
Wait, just Waterboy? Like
Billy
I'd
Madison?
I would like to see a Happy Gilmore sequel.
Happy
Let's be
Gilmore
honest.
too?
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Just those two sequels to those three movies.
Tap.
I think.
So we mentioned
Sorry.
we mentioned The Rock before, as he's in Rampage and all that sort of stuff. So I did want to touch a little bit on his original film,
Doom.
So
Yes.
been a while.
It came out in 2005, I believe.
I believe that was one of the first movies they tried first-person styled filming as well.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So that was a big deal to that too.
Well, because isn't that like that's the main part of the video
Well, that
game?
was
too.
how-
Oh, 100%.
the whole look
That's
of it.
how it looked.
Yeah.
And just having that in the movie, I guess,
Was
like
phenomenal.
I can tell you that was the one thing in that movie I was actually looking forward
Yeah.
to.
100%.
I'm like, because at that stage, The Rock wasn't really all that famous.
See, I was a bit of a WWE fan as a kid,
Ah,
so
yeah,
I
of course,
had a little bit of love for it.
Yeah, me
Emphasize
too.
video
A lot of-
games.
Yeah.
I guess a lot of people did, yeah. And in the video game, like seeing those pixels actually turned into an actual person instead of just three little dots on the screen.
How old do you think I am, man?
Let's be honest. Like, even Doom was just pixels.
Yeah, originally, yes.
Yeah.
Especially number one. I've still got that.
Yeah.
VHS.
And seeing that adapted into with what Carl Urban I think was in it.
Yeah, Carl Urban, yeah.
As
Yeah,
Reaper.
that was one of his original
Yeah,
movies.
I believe it was
Started,
Reaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, him and Thor was quite funny.
Oh yeah, of course. And so, but even that film kind of stopped short, I believe, of what it was trying to accomplish.
It kind of just slotted into that stereotype that most of the video game transitions fall into. Good idea, great special effects, great cast, but it just loses itself on the way and you walk out of it going, why?
Let's think
Why
about
did
this.
they bother?
Execution wasn't as good as what it could have been.
Yeah.
Doom as a game was always famous for being like gory, graphic, disgusting, like monstrous mess. I don't feel like that game was all that scary or monstery included. Like everything was based around the human characters. Like in today's CGI, I think they could redo it. They could make a moderner version, maybe Doom 2, maybe just a remake.
Like even in the video game, they did release a new Doom. Last
played
year?
It, finished it.
Yeah.
Great game.
Absolutely amazing game. But if you adapted that could
100%.
make it way better.
Especially with today's CGI, they can do such amazing things. I think that could be a very interesting
Would
addition.
they cast The Rock again?
They could.
Well, after he's recently brought out a statement. I can't remember what the statement was exactly, but he said that he was not a fan of Doom, and he kind of talked a little bit of
Bit of smack about it.
and he said that it was because of his failure in Doom that was what made Rampage a box office success as it has been.
Okay.
Right.
So
Interesting.
they've come back with a few comments about that, but we won't go into that area of things.
This isn't the gossip show, Bradley.
Yeah, it's not the gossip show. I'm
Please.
sorry. But that's where I think The Rock might not be coming back for a Doom film ever again.
But let's be honest too, there are plenty of big, burly, monstrous dudes that could play that role.
Well,
though.
like Dave Bautista is now coming into his own with
He is.
Drax and all
He
that
is,
sort of stuff.
yeah.
So we could definitely get that sort of thing again.
John Cena. Also
John
another name.
Cena after
Stone
seeing
Cold Steve
Cockblockers,
Austin.
Hilarious.
absolutely amazing film.
Yeah.
Even Steve Austin, he's done a few.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that dude in a while.
Longest Yard was like the one that I remember him from.
The only thing I can
He's
remember.
done like 15 films since then.
I haven't really remembered.
Pretty sure
them,
wasn't
okay?
he in the Expendables, the first Expendables film?
Yeah. He was one of the
Yeah,
bad guys.
he
he
was one of
was
the bad guys
too.
in the
Yeah.
Expendables. So there you go. So let's talk about video games as we were talking before about where they started off to where they've gotten to.
Oh,
So we've got so many different films that we can compare it to. So like Resident Evil came out and when did Resident Evil come out?
Well, that would have been early 2000s, wouldn't it?
Resident
Thereabouts.
Evil 2002 was the first movie that
2002.
came out.
So that was when the first Resident Evil film
Yeah,
came out.
yeah.
With Mila Jovovich as
Yeah.
the
Mila.
Miller.
Mila.
M-I-L-A. Just
Okay.
Mila.
Mila.
European.
Okay, I apologize.
You know, no one can see you do the quotation
He can,
marks,
though.
right?
Yeah, so when that first came out, that I'll say it was a good. Well, I thought it was actually a fairly decent adaptation of a video game, but it's definitely gotten better.
Oh.
Not maybe story wise, but the actual adaptation has gotten better.
Started off with a really good story. It was like not your typical end of the world zombie kind of apocalypse movie that
Stuck
kind of-
in just some
that's
crazy ass building.
Yeah. I liked the overall story, and then I think the last couple of movies were just like
I saw an interesting comment actually on the trailer to the newest movie. And someone said, how has the world still got ammunition? Which is a bloody good point when you think about it.
point.
There's a lot of guns.
Actually, I didn't even think about that. Whoa, okay. Yeah, what?
she's been
End of the world
stashing it
film.
away for the last 16 years.
She got some big pockets.
Her or one of her clones has, I guess.
Yeah,
Didn't she kill them all in number one?
look,
In
who
number
knows?
I can't even remember.
Hang on, where was the one
When
where
did
she
she
had
have
a giant
clones?
pile? 2 or 3.
There was a giant pile of clones at some point in
2 or 3.
the last movie.
In the last 5 films or whatever it's been.
few.
Yeah.
But that's another point altogether though too. Like how I was saying with the Assassin's Creed thing. I feel like that would be a movie where people would be like, that's a video game?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, the thing with Resident Evil, I wasn't scared of the movies. I was terrified of the video games.
Oh,
Speaking of, Silent Hill.
Silent Hill, of course.
Yeah, let's just not go there.
Yeah, Silent Hill, the movie, scared the crap out of me.
Absolutely terrifying.
I
Can't
didn't-
watch it ever
I did
ever
not like
again.
that film. Ben, what, did you ever watch Silent Hill?
Yeah. For me, all right, there's a movie adaptation that is on par with the game. Mm-hmm. One of very few, but
terrifying.
that was definitely where it should have been, and what they made was a good representation.
Silent Hill 1 and 2, though?
First one. The first
Just
one.
the first
Yeah,
Silent
the
Hill
first
movie.
I kind of enjoyed both. From a terrifying perspective, of course. Like I still, needed diapers, but that's fine.
I don't
Yeah.
think I'll ever play the game after watching that movie.
You're
Well-
an adult now, you can.
Nope.
Well, one of the
No,
video
no.
games that was about to come out.
Jump on the
that
dope
was,
train to Noteville.
I think it was there was a video game that was coming out that was in Silent Hill universe that was directed by Guillermo del Toro and Hideo Kojima, the
boy.
original creator of Silent Hill. And
boy.
it was a playable demo, and it was called PT.
Oh boy.
And it apparently scared everybody. Mm-hmm. Like even your hardcore horror gamers apparently were like, nah, I'm out.
Mind you, I got scared in Outlast, so I probably wouldn't survive.
It just lures you into a false sense of security with that name. Just PT.
Yeah.
What are we going to be in for?
Probably
Oh my
terrifying.
god.
Probably terrifying.
Well, that game, like, just so nobody actually goes looking for it, that game's no longer available
Well, good.
and has been pulled, so only people who ever downloaded it
Have
have
got
the
it.
copy of it.
Wow,
it's
that's
kind of like Flappy
pretty
Bird.
Oh yeah, Flappy
That game drove me so
That brought back some
angry.
memories.
So, other than Resident Evil, there's other films that have obviously gotten adapted and remade and that sort of thing, like Tomb Raider,
Need for Speed.
Need for Speed. What was the original one?
What, Need for Speed?
Yeah.
You've got your actual Need for Speed titles, the Need for Speed.
Yeah.
Then you've got Underground 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Then you've got Most Wanted. There's storyline and...
But was there more than one film made?
No,
of it?
just one so
Just
far.
there was just the
just
one.
the one.
One film.
Eisenhower. What's his name? The young fella from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was in it. I think he did quite a good
I
job.
can't even think of his
considering.
name right now.
I can't either.
Yeah.
Well,
Em?
yeah, I'm getting
Fact
it.
checker M. He did an alright job.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was the greatest adaptation.
It wasn't a Fast and Furious for when it comes to popularity either.
Yeah. And I think that was what it was competing against. It was competing against a car franchise that wasn't
Yeah.
a video
that's
game
right.
to begin with. So it was like
Who are we
trying.
looking for again?
Jesse from Breaking Bad.
Aaron
Aaron Paul, of course. Yeah. And he did, like, don't get me wrong, that was actually a fairly decent film if you could
I like-
completely forget about
Kid
the.
Cody was
Exactly,
in it.
yes. I also liked how they didn't have a lot of CGI. Like, I feel like a lot of the Fast and Furious movies really lacked like the appeal because you could just completely
Yeah,
totally
that's
tell that
right.
it was computer
Yeah.
generated.
They're
where
probably going to outer space.
Need for
So who knows?
Probably Need for Speed at least.
Well, as always, we have to talk about Vin Diesel going to space. In every episode so far, we have talked about him.
It's our running thing.
But I gotta see my family, man. It's all about the family.
So, but yeah, like we had Tomb Raider in 2001, M.
With
Yeah, with Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
Which was an amazing. Like I thought it was
2001.
pretty decent. Yes, yeah. You can talk about that, Theo.
Prince of Persia, another good movie.
No, yeah, that was good.
I feel like the movie
That-
was absolutely on
That
point.
was actually a good one.
Yes,
Jake
Gyllenhaal,
Gyllenhaal was in
yeah.
Prince of Persia, wasn't he?
yes.
It was Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah,
Pretty sure,
Okay.
I'm fairly sure. Stat checker.
Again, we.
See, she's very useful tonight.
Yeah,
It's like the most I've done.
but yeah, like we
Yeah,
had
Jake
Tomb Ra-
Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal, sweet. That was an amazing adaptation, and I like when it comes to the films, like as I said earlier, like we had Super Mario Bros. Come out in '93.
Let's
It's definitely come a long way.
Yeah, and then Prince of Persia came out, and then like we've gotten further and further along, and you can definitely see that we've gotten.
Because it feels
Better.
like a movie now. Where
Yeah.
Super Mario Brothers, you were like, oh, this is cool. Like a video game got turned into this. Where you'd watch Prince of Persia, you'd watch Assassin's Creed, and you'd be like, this is quite a good movie.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think
Yeah.
directly of the game.
Yeah, so many people
Yeah.
probably went into that film without even knowing about the video game, as you said earlier.
Which is
and-
what you want, really.
Yeah, and then they're like, wait, I can actually play this?
Yeah.
Perfect. So then this year alone, we had Tomb Raider come out with Alicia Vikander, I believe her name is.
Well done.
Yeah.
Wakanda forever.
And just seeing that adaptation, like, if you guys had to choose, would you choose Angelina Jolie or Alicia Vikander as a adaptation of Lara Croft?
I think Angelina Jolie filled the void physically because, you know, the
She
character...
has that look to
Let
her.
him speak.
Not to be discriminative by any means, but the original Tomb Raider with her little triangular boobies and whatnot.
Wait,
was-
so are you thinking Angelina Jolie had the perfect triangular boobies?
Exact no. Well, I'm saying like the original character had like, you know, the tiny statue with the big knockers because
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
your typical appeal
Square
back in the
boobs
day.
and the square butt.
Yeah, and I feel like Angelina Jolie sort of had that going for her.
She
where
fit
was-
the
Yeah.
description
Of
of
the
Lara
character,
Croft.
yeah.
just made it more curvy and not so square.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I mean, like when you do the whole photo exchange of the video game compared to her,
Yeah,
like
no, they
it
did
looks
really well
pretty
with
on
that,
point.
yeah.
Like
Yeah, 100%.
I think you'll have to say
Alicia.
Alicia.
It's a little bit more tan too, so like the whole, you know.
Yeah. Well, I believe that. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I've only seen the trailer. I'm yet to see the movie, but I think she's like from the trailer, she's done pretty well
definitely.
at the new like adaptation.
Adaptation.
Of it.
Yeah. Well, it's meant to be a prequel. Like it is a prequel to, I guess, the games in general as well. Because it's actually her first ever mission going
awesome.
out into the world.
Right.
So it is a completely new version of Lara Croft in a sense. and having a young actress
Who's going to be good for the franchise as well.
It does help out a lot because they have a person that will be able to fulfill Lara Croft as they go on.
Yeah.
Then we also had Mortal Kombat, which came out in, I don't know, 95, I believe.
And there was another one, wasn't there too?
Yeah, there was Annihilation, I believe, that came out later on. Nice knowledge. Which was coming out in the craze of fighting games getting turned into movies with like Mortal Kombat.
There was Tekken, there was Dead or Alive, there was
Street
Street
Fighter.
Fighter.
You could throw a rock and
100%.
hit a fighting game.
1995.
95? Sweet. Wow, she is really helpful, isn't it? Yeah.
We should get her a laptop instead of a phone though. That might help.
No, I've got a laptop, thank you.
Sold my laptop to him, so.
Yeah, we need to up the production value on
Yeah.
this.
We need more money, damn it.
But seeing Mortal Kombat adapted, Warner Brothers actually brought out a web series over the last, I can't even remember when it first came out. It came, 2011 was when they started it. And it's much more adapted and much more high quality. And just seeing these movies go from then to now, you do, as we continuously reiterate in this podcast, you can definitely see that there is that progression. So what I really want to discuss is, where do we see the video game movies going? Like,
Well, with CGI, it could be absolutely anything.
well, in saying that, like the three films that I found out about that are coming out that are live action, there's one that's called Detective Pikachu.
Yes.
Now we're
Just gonna
talking.
sit there and go,
Now we're talking.
Now we're talking. The Pikachu is actually going to be voiced by Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
It's going to be like a deep voice
wow.
going, Pikachu.
Oh boy.
So yeah, is he going to be saying lines?
I think he's saying lines. So it'll be Pikachu talking English.
See, I can't help but picture Deadpool with that now.
Yeah, it'll literally be him, like Pikachu turning towards the screen and.
My mind is
You'll
blowing.
just have this like little outfit of Pikachu, just like this little costume of Deadpool that he just pulls over and then zaps people.
That would be terrific.
That's going to be hilarious. I'm
Pika
really
Pool.
excited about that.
Peekaboo. Ooh, copyright that shit right now.
So Ben, what's your thoughts on that sort of thing coming out?
Well, yeah, that's going to be a great mix. I think Ryan Reynolds is definitely at the peak of his powers at the moment, just with everything Deadpool's created, and well, Pokemon's going to be popular forever. Yeah, there's not going to be a time when Pokemon's not
I
going to be popular.
think the first film for Pokemon, like the first actual animated film, the actual franchise.
I think just after season 3 of Pokemon, I believe.
Yeah, it was 2000, the year 2000, I believe, with Pokemon 2000. Of course. But I believe that came out in like 99 in Japan. So
1998.
98 was, which film was that? Was it the first
First movie.
The first movie. Okay, sorry.
It was literally called the first movie.
It was called the first movie,
There you go.
1998.
There you go, 98.
But in Australia, it didn't get released till 1999.
Okay,
So it was a year later.
sorry. So Pokemon 2000 was the second film in the franchise. I apologize.
Not even the worst information ever. That's fine.
That's what I'm here
It just
for.
means I've got 2 movies to watch.
Yeah. Well, I
Again.
believe there's 21. There's something like that. 21, 22 movies.
I still have my Game Boy Color with Pokemon, and I still have the TV series for the first 2 series on my computer.
And if you guys, I think you guys will agree that Pokemon is probably one of the greatest video game franchises of all time.
Oh yeah.
I would hate to think what its net worth is.
Yeah, that just blows my mind. Right?
Just the franchise net. Excuse me, name alone.
27.
There's 27 movies.
I just counted them all.
Oh wow.
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 There's also an Uncharted film coming out.
Yes.
wears a hat.
Did hear that, actually.
In the Disney.
Pikachu does wear a hat in Detective Pikachu.
Focus.
I'm sorry.
And that will. What's the main character in Uncharted? Do you guys? Drake?
When I looked
Drake?
it up.
Drake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
They
so that'll
haven't
be.
selected an actor yet, though.
I heard that it was Tom Holland.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So
Wow.
young Peter Parker will now become the young Drake in
Very good.
in Uncharted.
Very good.
Do you guys think that he'll be able to pull off a?
I had high skeptical opinions of him until I saw Spider-Man.
I think everybody did.
You know, that role has changed so many bloody times in its history, and to see him pull that off like he did, I was quite impressed. I've got a different opinion on him after that.
Yeah, exactly. Ben.
Well, yeah, it's going to be interesting, especially if you're going to talk about Uncharted. All right, starting a movie and probably a franchise. We'll say there'll be a franchise, Little Games.
Yeah.
But they're also talking about Chris Pratt being the new Indiana Jones for an Indiana Jones reboot.
Oh, that would actually be pretty
So
sick. Yeah.
then you could possibly have Tom Holland versus Chris Pratt in, Indy versus Uncharted.
Oh, yeah.
That could be cool.
That would definitely be cool.
It'd be interesting.
Because what the rumors are at this stage, video game wise, with movies, is that Alicia Vikander
Thank you.
and Tom Holland will actually be in a movie together, which is going to be an Uncharted Tomb Raider crossover.
Actually, it's funny you say that because one movie I always wanted to see crossed over was Tomb Raider and Indiana Jones. They both do very similar things.
They do.
100%. So it will be interesting if they ever actually do that, because both Tom Holland obviously will be playing a young version of Drake. Alicia is playing a young version of Lara Croft. Obviously, they're going to be able to cross over because they've got both that similar age area.
Yep.
So we'll go into that as a way to kind of close off the podcast at the moment. What games do we want to see adapted? Ben?
Well, I guess we've kind of been harping on, the original Super Mario Brothers movie and how it wasn't that great. And it wasn't, It had a great cast, but it wasn't that great. And we haven't really had a good effort at a Super Mario movie since that time. And Mario is probably one of the most well-known video game characters of all time. Everyone knows Mario, everyone's played Mario at some point, but we haven't had a good film adaptation or a crack at it. So yeah, I'd like to see someone give it a really good shot and give us a good Super Mario Brothers.
Is there anybody who you think could pull off Mario
Good
as he's known?
Chris Pratt with an Italian accent.
I'm sorry, you're just saying Chris Pratt for everything now?
Chris Pratt for president.
So Chris Pratt is Mario.
I reckon I could do Luigi and Chris Pratt could do Mario.
You just want to be in a film with Chris Pratt, don't you?
Chris, if you're listening, let's get it done, mate.
I thought
come?
maybe Chris Pratt and maybe our favorite actor of all time, Brendan Fraser.
yeah.
Did you see the meme that came out recently saying Marvel movies if they were made in the 90s?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
That was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
I wouldn't mind seeing Zelda
Zelda?
being made into
You want to see
movie.
Zelda?
Yeah.
Who do you think could pull off Link in Zelda?
Can we just end the debate to what gender Zelda is? Everyone
Pretty
argues
Pretty sure
it's
it's
a
a
boy.
boy.
Zelda? I thought, isn't Princess Zelda?
It's a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zelda's the girl.
Zelda's the princess and
Yeah.
Link's the boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone goes, oh, Zelda's a boy. It frustrates the Satan out of me.
Yeah.
See, I know that though, but I still
You still said it was a boy.
Yeah.
It doesn't click.
no,
Yeah.
it doesn't click. But I still just
It's because the playable character, let's be honest,
Yeah.
is Link. So who's your thoughts?
I don't know. Well, I hadn't thought that much about it. I just would like to see Zelda as maybe a live action movie.
You just want to see it as a live action
Yeah.
film? Like
Would you
Ganondorf
prefer-
taking out like all the areas and that sort of thing.
Would you prefer it to be
Maybe.
animated or would you prefer it to be human?
Well, with CGI how it is at the moment, a live action movie would be possible, I reckon.
Almost like a Warcraft like Zelda film.
Well, that's actually one of the
Yeah, but with
movies I
Zelda
wrote
and
down
Link.
as a video game crossover too.
Oh.
It's Warcraft.
Yeah.
Nice. So, Theo, do you have what you want to see adapted?
Well, Warcraft was a movie. Warcraft came out like what? year
Yeah,
ago?
Warcraft
18 months?
came out. Yeah.
Call of Duty, I think, as an already incredibly well scripted, well made game, could be made into a humongous franchise, either Black Ops or Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
Either one. I mean, it's
Would
basically.
you want the zombie stuff adapted?
You could finish it off. You could make it the whole way through Modern Warfare and then have how you have your Marvel spoilers at the end.
Yeah.
Just have like some little, your main characters having a bit of a fight with zombies. You can make fun out of it. That's the best part about it.
Is there anybody that you would want in a Call of Duty film?
Oh man, there are so many badass names in Hollywood right now. You could do whoever you wanted. That is the best part about it because it's not really.
There's no set characters in a sense. It's like
exactly. You could make anyone the main character.
You could probably do Chris Pratt in Call of Duty
Brendan Fraser
and Brendan Fraser.
And The Rock.
and The
Just
Rock
have them all.
and Vin Diesel. Let's just go for it.
Paul, what? Oh,
I was just about to go there. But I didn't.
too soon, guys. I'm sorry. Even GTA, even Grand Theft Auto could be made into a game. Into a movie.
With Grand Theft, with Grand Theft Auto, right? Would if we were seeing that, there's not really a storyline when it comes to playing Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto number 1, the very original, helicopter viewed one.
The top down view.
God,
Yeah.
no, not a chance. That made no sense. That was just blowing shit up, killing things.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep,
But
definitely.
you're recent from pretty well much Vice City to San Andreas to, your GTA 5. It has got a basic storyline. Like, you could bring... Have you seen the guy that plays Trevor in the GTA, the New Zone 5?
No, I haven't actually seen it.
He looks identical to his CGI character.
Oh, wow.
And I mean identical.
I don't know if I like that or not.
It is hilarious. in interviews where they were talking about the video game and he was like, I was obviously, what do you call it when you go out and you sell the game? Like, hey, come buy that game.
Marketing PR.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He would be in character mode and it was fantastic. And
Yeah.
I mean, you could make that alone into a movie. Like, who wouldn't watch it? Some dude swearing at you, carrying on, blowing shit up, like... And you could do anything with it, I feel. Like,
Yeah.
as long as you're stealing cars, blowing shit up, making money, I feel you could almost make it into a TV show.
Yeah.
With how much it could, like, how much there is to it, you
And
could definitely
variations and whatnot,
do that.
yeah.
And like, if you went into that that far into it, you could probably look at just kind of crossing over all the
Okay, like
The
the
things
different
as well.
series, yeah, true.
yeah, because there's no actual set area where it exists.
San Andreas would be the
Yeah.
giant map, but Vice City was supposedly the California.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Is there any? Theo, as your special guest, is there any other films you would like to see?
There was probably a lot, but Crash Bandicoot would be quite a funny one.
I was just
Oh, that was literally going to be my one.
So was me.
I was going to
So
say
was
Crash
me.
Bandicoot.
Definitely.
Spyro.
What would you go? Oh, Spyro is actually getting remastered now, so
That's right.
So we'll see if maybe that will come out as a film as well. Would you like to see those sort of films as live action or CGI?
I feel like you could ruin it if you went live action, so you'd almost have to go CGI.
I feel like if you went live action, you have to add in a human character, and then
And yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't really feel like Crash Bandicoot then.
yeah, 100%. Yeah. Is there any thoughts you guys have before we go to wrap up the podcast?
No,
No.
I'm right.
No?
Pretty good.
No, I think we've covered it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Pretty
well, as every time, we're going to finish this episode with what we call the pizza quiz. Theo, you're actually going to be our person we're going to quiz tonight.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we've got a mystical timer that we have no idea how long it goes for. It definitely doesn't go for a minute. Definitely doesn't go for any random amount of time.
We,
I'm scared.
Yeah, we really don't.
We
know.
literally do not know how long that goes for.
Okay.
Ben, do you want to be in control of the timer?
Ben will be in control of the timer. Me and Emma are going to be asking you questions.
Oh boy.
We call it the pizza quiz because there's 8 slices, so there's 8 questions. So far, we've had 6 for Ben, 7 for Brooke. I think that's
Yeah, that's
currently
all
the
so
scores.
far. Yeah.
So if you want to try and beat Brooke's score, you have to get 8.
Oh boy.
Completely complete the pizza. So these are just going to be all based on video game movies and all that. I'll ask the first question and we'll ask the second question and we'll go backwards and forwards. And
Sure.
we'll just
Bring
go
it
from
on.
there.
Yep.
Cool. Ben, do you want to count down?
All right. Well, yeah. Your time starts now.
Nibbles.
Who played Lara Croft in the 2001 Tomb Raider film?
Oh, Angelina Jolie.
Yep.
What was the first ever live action movie made based on a video game?
Mario.
Yep. Perfect.
Super Mario.
What well-known Nintendo game has had 21 movies and 13 seasons made from it?
Pokemon.
Yep.
What is the name of the video game franchise made famous by Mila Djokovic?
Jovovich.
Resident Evil.
Yep. What year was Pokemon 2000 released internationally? Yep.
Yes, I love this game.
What was Dwayne The Rock Johnson's first try at being in a video game based film?
Doom.
Yep.
Yep. Who stars in the latest Jumanji film about 4 kids being sucked into a video game?
Jack Black, The Rock. I can't remember the other two though.
I'll give you that one because
Okay.
the other two
Kevin
were
Hart.
Kevin Hart and Karen
you.
Karen Gillan.
I can't pronounce her name. She gets me every time.
What's the name of the 3 fighting game franchise turned into movies?
Mortal Kombat.
Yep.
1?
Dead or Alive.
Nope.
Dead or Alive did have a movie.
They did have a movie.
It
I
did,
apologize.
but-
Did.
And I don't know the third.
There's 3. You named one of them.
Yep.
From that era in the 90s, there was 3 games.
Oh, games. Oh, Tekken, Dead or Alive, Street Fighter.
There we go.
There we go.
Number 3.
Okay, sorry. I thought we were talking movies. I hadn't.
You're our first person to get all 8 questions
That's
in
all
the
8
timer.
questions.
Yes.
Okay, well, as you've completed the pizza quiz before the time you even actually finished, which we still don't know the time.
We've probably still got about 2 hours to go on that
Yeah.
time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I feel accomplished.
Congratulations, Theo.
Thank you, sir.
We're going to end the podcast there. This has been Skip the Ads. I'm Bradley.
Thanks, guys. I'm Ben.
Thanks, guys. I'm Emma.
See you later. I'm Theo.
Bye.